In Bomber Command, the average life expectancy was 5. I managed to survive it until my 17th. I was shot down at my 17th.
It was rare to finish 10 missions. If you got 10 missions in, you'd already beat the odds of surviving.
We finished 13 missions. We're on our 14th mission the day we were shot down.
17% of those shot down survived. 83% were killed. So I'm very, very fortunate.
And I told Chad, I said, Chad, it don't look good at all. And I've never seen so many guns and searchlights pointed. Reconnaisseurs, Englanders, Rossmed, hands up. I couldn't reach high enough in the sky.
And then you start going through the process. We went to Peanutburg, which was an interrogation center. It was probably almost one of the last times I saw all of the crew.
And the Gestapo agent that was interviewing me told me after I was pretty bad shape, he said, for you, not only the war is over, your life is over. We're going to execute you in 2 days by a firing squad.
It's almost a feeling of relief because in a way you're a lot safer than the outside. You know, things are very controlled there. You're under military control, but there were strict laws. If you went over the white line, they'd shoot you from the tower. They ain't going to screw around, you know. Or if there was any infraction in that, you would pay the penalty for that and that. But other than that, most of it was the hardship of prison camp itself.
If you volunteered, they gave you a job and you did it.
You had some making maps and
oh gosh, yes,
all
people that
kinds
had talent and they could
birth certificates,
copy birth certificates and army papers and passports and everything. We had a whole section that were really good at these darn papers, and that's the ones we guarded very carefully because they shot you if they caught you doing that.
We were fed the black bread. This is bread that was made between the wars and stored underground. It was as hard as a rock. When they baked the bread, there was a stamp that was put on there, which was the year that the bread was made. And we got bread. I've eaten bread it was baked in 1927. And the outside of it is as hard as a brick. You could take a nail and take a loaf of bread and drive a nail in the wood.
Yeah, it was approximately 150, and I was 80 pounds when I got it back.
So you almost lost half your weight.
You can figure the guy is 6 foot, 180 pounds. It comes back in 100 pounds, you know, and then they just get him bone.
We had a number of Germans. They were old men that were the guards. Well, when the guards came in and roused us out to pack up your stuff and you're going to go, and we said, no, we're not going anywhere. We're going to stay right here. And we knew the war was over, okay? So essentially. So anyway, this German captain, he came in to talk to Kurt and tell him, you're going to go or I'm going to start shooting people. And so the answer to the German captain was, and the German guards were there with him. And so the answer to when Kurtenbach told him, this is it, we're not going any further. And so he said, you either go or I'll start shooting. And he was told, you'll open fire because we're not going anywhere and you may kill a couple of us, but every one of you are going to die. All of you are going to die. And Kurtenbach spoke German and told the guards that's what's going to happen, okay? And this bunch of old men, they knew the war was over also. and they took one look and dropped their weapons. We picked up the weapons and we had control of the camp from then on. It was as simple as that.
It's just words I don't think can really explain it. It's just a wonderful feeling that you're home, your homeland. It's your home.
Unbelievable. The statue is still there. We're still free.
When he said, "Don't worry, the first group over will be the first group back," and 3 years and 15 days later, I was with my family in Denver then, and we answered the door at 2 o'clock in the morning, and there's this stranger who says, "I'm home." And that was the way it worked, because everything was in such a state of uproar and flux. You couldn't get a phone, you couldn't, a telegram that he'd sent saying that he was released came a week after he'd come home.